Welcome to the ACSA Campus Tour, where every week we take you to another school community and talk with a district administrator about the successes and challenges they are experiencing during this COVID-19 pandemic and the steps to safely reopen schools for this new academic year. Joining us today is Stacy Williamson, the principal from Golden Poppy Elementary School in the Palmdale School District. Stacy, thanks so much for being with us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
School started a few days ago, so I want to have you just kind of talk a little bit about the successes and challenges for you, for your staff, for your teachers ahead of that first day of school, and then what the experience has been like since that first day of school.
Okay, so kind of to explain how we kind of got to where we are, I have to take you back to March when our schools first got closed. We went into what Doug Fisher would kind of talk about as being, we did crisis teaching. So we didn't have like a window of opportunity to kind of warn us. We kind of were just kind of thrown into it, and we had to kind of scramble and figure out how we were going to do it. And so at that time, one of our strengths that we had were relationships. So we had relationships with students, we had relationships with families, and that was something that at the beginning of last year, we really honed in on, because part of our Palmdale Promise Goal 4 is to have the welcoming, safe environment. So our admin team and our leadership team and our school site really focused last year on building relationships with families and students and creating a fun school environment. So we were thinking like, gosh, if kids don't want to come to school and it's not fun, then they're not going to be invested in what we're doing. So we took all of our energy and we really focused on making school fun, transition into virtual learning. How do we keep that going? So last year we had those relationships already built. So it was kind of seamless. It really didn't have that much of a challenge for us as much as we thought we would in the spring, because we knew the families, we knew the kids, we knew their academic strengths, we knew what was working well for them. And so we kind of pulled that into our virtual world. And what we really focused on was getting to know how to use the tools and how to get that online learning platform ready for kids. So transition to the new school year, now we're facing a time in which we don't have relationships on our side. We're starting the school year with brand new classes. You know, you're getting a new teacher that you didn't have last year that you may not know. And so we're really spending the first couple of weeks building relationships, getting to know you, doing one-on-one Zooms with the kiddos, with the parents, and we're going through and teaching them how to use the platforms and the tools and taking the time to get to know who the student is so we can prepare a better foundation for them for the academics. So as we're going through and building that stamina too for how the kids are online.
I want to talk about communication to your entire school community because it is so important during this pandemic. And I saw a video that you guys had on Twitter, and I invite our viewers to go ahead onto Twitter and look at that video, where it's you and your staff welcoming the students and the families and informing them about the school year and some of the precautions that you're taking at your school and throughout the district. Tell me how that video came about and what you were hoping to accomplish by having a video like that.
So one thing we have to focus on in our Palmdale Promise is that communication factor with our parents. It's a big deal for our superintendent and our board and all of our cabinet that we want to communicate. And so a lot of parents are uneasy with online learning and what that education is going to be. And so we wanted to give them an assurance that we're going to treat this as if your kids are physically here on campus. We're not going to change how we are treating the situation. We're going to change how we deliver the instruction, and we're going to change how we group students and how we meet with them, but we're still going to really pride ourselves in our Palmdale Promise Goal 1, which was high quality instruction. We're not going to let online distance learning stop us from providing that to our students. And we want to give them the assurance that we're putting things into place and we're following procedures, we're following what they're recommending us to do to keep everyone safe, but we're not going to take that full component of our best education and put on the sidebar. We're going to still do that even if we're online distance learning. It's just in a different way.
Let's look towards Labor Day, because that's out a few weeks from now, and bring out your crystal ball as you look towards Labor Day, because that's kind of a, one of those moments of being able to really think and consider how things have moved. Where do you hope that you are? And do you think any of that analysis of these first few weeks will give you and your staff insight on how to pivot to support students?
I think what's really going to help us is the ability to build relationships, capturing kids' hearts. You know, if you don't have a child's heart, you don't have their mind. And so taking this time to go slow to go fast, my envision would be that we are going to hit the ground running and be able to get a lot further with our students and our families because we took this time to really spend the quality time to get to know our students and to set up this facility of this online platform learning so that they're successful. And so I think by going slow to go fast, we're going to see a huge advantage to our kiddos and our families in the end, because I think that we're going to really be able to hit our academics in a way that we couldn't if we didn't take the time to get to know our kiddos.
Stacy Williamson is the principal from Golden Poppy Elementary School in the Palmdale School District. Stacy, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, folks, for joining us here on the ACSA Campus Tour. Remember, on Tuesdays, we take you to another part of the state, talk with a district administrator about the day-to-day operations in their district and in their school. That comes your way Tuesdays here on the ACSA Campus Tour.